Hey, badass business owner. Welcome back to the show. Today, I want to talk about the weaknesses of your business and how in tune you are to those weaknesses. Because believe it or not, it might be what's causing you to struggle in your business. Now, listen, each of you are at a different stage in your business because if we think about our business, in the very beginning, when we're trying to start it up, we have a sales problem, right? We need to create as many sales as we can. We're not really focused on anything other than driving and creating sales. But as our business grows and we start to have more and more customers, sometimes we run into a problem with time. We just don't have enough time. We have the customers, we just don't have the time. Or maybe we're busting our butt and we have lots of sales, but we're really not making any money. Our profits are suffering. It might be that you're in a season where some really good competitors have come to town and they're really hurting you in your overall business. Or maybe it's seasonal and the market has dropped and it has gone down and you're hurting in that aspect. It could be that you're trying to find people. Some of you guys are struggling with growth or to maintain where you're at because you just can't get people. But whatever the reason, at some point in your business, pretty much at every point of your business, you're always struggling with something. There's always a weakness in your business. And ultimately, the goal is to create something more than just a job, right? We talk about this all the time. You're building a business, not just a job. There's times you pay yourself as an employee of the business, but the ultimate goal is that you're able to, replace yourself if you wanted to. Now, when I talk about replacing yourself, you don't have to go have employees. I'm not saying you have to always replace yourself. But you want to make sure that there's a great business profit that goes on top of any hourly money that you make because you get paid two ways. One is the employee who's doing the doing in the business, and then as the owner of the business where you're really making money through the profits of the company. And we want to make sure that you are always strong there. So when we talk about the weaknesses, I want to make sure that you are taking a moment and asking yourself, where am I falling down in my business? Where are the weaknesses in my business? Because as a business owner, you're constantly thinking about these things. The CEOs of any Fortune 500 company or any company for that matter are constantly focusing on the weaknesses of the business. Now, I could have you sit down and say, all right, just brainstorm everywhere that you think you're bleeding sales, bleeding money, where you're struggling, where your processes that are broken, and you're going to come up with a laundry list of stuff. That's very common. But what I want you focusing on is what are the one or two things that are the big rocks, if you will. All right. And the reason that I want you to focus on the big rocks is a lot of the little rocks will take care of themselves because they have to get fixed as part of the bigger rock. And what I don't want you doing is I don't want you focusing on the little stuff because it doesn't have as big of an impact. For example, let's just say that you are running around and working really hard, but at the end of the day, you just don't understand your business numbers. Well, that's the weakness in your business because if you never spend any time looking at your numbers, really diving into your numbers, then you're going to continue to work harder and harder because you don't know where the money's coming, where it's going, what's happening to it. You don't understand if you're selling the right things or not, if you're targeting the right customers. Knowing your business numbers is a huge weakness for a lot of small business owners because what's happening is they're doing great as an employee of the business because they're creating enough money to survive. And that's usually where people start to take a breather. They're like, okay, I'm starting this business. I need to create enough money because their number one goal is to pay their bills, right? To make enough money to pay their bills and to give them a certain lifestyle. So they do that. And then they're like, oh, okay, I'm doing really good. I'm a successful business. Well, not necessarily because you might find that you could double your profits if you just fixed the weaknesses in your business and you wouldn't have to work as hard. And even if you are working the same number of hours and just as hard, wouldn't we all still want to have some money? And this is where knowing your business numbers, because knowing your business numbers also helps you with dealing with those competitors who are coming to town. You need to know when to lower your price, when not to lower your price, how much you need to sell to compete against them. We talked about that in one of the last episodes, and I did a video on that as well. Knowing your business numbers helps you get through the seasonal swings of your business because it helps you understand how much money you need to get through the lower ends. So knowing your business numbers is just one weakness that a lot of people have. Another weakness that you might have is the fact that the communication in your business is absolutely horrible. You might find that getting back to people, you're not able to get back to your customers or people who call you for new business or past customers. They can't get a hold of you for 24, 48 hours because you don't get back. There's a business I absolutely adore that I work with on a regular basis. They're great with my customers. My customers love them, but they are having a serious communication issue because if you email them, they don't answer. If you text, you're going to have to hit the text at the right time. And it's like, whoa, this used to not be a problem. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. And guess what? There were some changes made in their business over the last 6 months. And I think that's what's causing the problem with them is that they're trying to be everything to everybody instead of the one core thing that they used to do. It's great that they've expanded their business. It's great that they want to do something different, but there is definitely a breakdown in the communication. It'll just take their business off to the next level. So I'm not saying they don't have to keep doing the new stuff, but somehow they got to figure out this broken communication problem they have in their business. And the odds are they're probably making more money than they have because of this new part of the business. But meanwhile, people are falling off. All right. That's just one different type of problem that somebody could have in their business. Another one, for example, that sometimes people have is here they are trying to grow their business and get it going, and they have a searchability. People don't know how to find them. So it's like they have this fantastic business, and when people find them, they're very loyal. They love what it is that they do. But people can't find them because unless you know somebody who knows somebody, you can't track them down. In which case, it's because they don't have a Google business page. They've never sat down to figure that out and to put it together. They haven't made sure that there's a website or some kind of form that people can find them searching for them. But because they're running around and they've got, plenty of business to give them a comfortable lifestyle, they haven't really ever done any of that. And if that's the type of business they want, great. But those of you that are listening to the show, I know you listen to the show because that's not you. You want to grow your business. You want to make more money in your business. So therefore, you need to sit back and ask yourself, is that a weakness in my business? Can people find me? So part of it is they got to find you. The second thing is they got to be able to talk to you and find you. The second thing is, are you just chasing every sale under the world? Or do you know where your money's coming and going within your business? There's so many areas that could be weakness in your business. Like I was talking about, hiring. A lot of people, let's go back to that for a second. Okay, there's two parts to this whole employee mess. We got people that can't find anybody to hire, but here's the thing. A lot of you are focusing on the wrong thing. Yes, you need to find people. Yes, that is a top priority. Yes, I get that. But here's the other problem. While you're spending all your time and energy and focus on hiring people, your onboarding process and you keeping people is just as bad, if not worse. Because why spend all that time hiring someone if you're going to turn around and lose them in the first 30 days? And a lot of times what happens is people want to blame the employee. Oh, I got crappy employees and these people don't want to work and this and that. Okay. First off, there are always people like that. Second off, you got to ask yourself, why do you keep hiring them? You really need to look in the mirror, because every time I hear somebody saying, oh, people don't last, they don't stick around, they don't know, you hired who fogged up the mirror. You didn't really dive in and try to find the right employee. And I get it. Sometimes we hire people out of desperation because we need to have bodies. I get that. But you need to have a bigger plan in mind for your hiring, because spend the time up front hiring the right people, but then you've got to make sure you onboard them correctly and you have the right processes in place, the right training in place to keep them. All right. You spend way too much time trying to find people only to lose them on the back end. But a lot of times it's our own fault, because that's a weakness in our business, because we don't do a good job on ensuring that they continue to get the training that they need and the development and the accountability, as well as the encouragement, as well as sitting down with them every few months to give them the goals and set expectations and whatnot with them. Folks, listen, you run a business and you need to make sure that you are running that business correctly and that you're always identifying what your weaknesses are and you have the ability to be able to work on those. All right, I know I'm going on and on about this, but it's very, very important that you understand the weaknesses in your business. You need to make sure that you're focused at all times on one or two things that you know are going to improve the overall business. And when we talk about overall improvement, always have an eye on the profitability of the business, because you can have all the sales in the world, but if you're not converting that into profits, then you're just spinning your wheels. And most of you, if not all of you, it's very difficult for you to survive off of very low margins and very low profitability because you don't want to have a 10% profitability. Some of you don't have any profitability. I've seen some of your numbers. Some of you have 5%, 10%, still very low. You need to get into that, around that 20 is at least comfortable, 20 to 30. Some of you guys have more, some of you guys have less. But if you can get into that range, depending upon your business, then it's fantastic. Some of you have almost 40%. Every business is different. Everybody has different sets of cost of goods. But there are people that think they're making 50%, but they're not counting themselves as an employee and as a business owner. You got to make sure that by understanding your numbers, you know the difference between the two, because you might not be as successful as you think you are. You might just have created yourself a really good job. I know I'm talking about a lot of different things, but it's important that you understand that you are constantly looking at the weaknesses. Don't get me wrong. I want you to celebrate the successes of your business. You absolutely need to celebrate the successes of your business, but you need to be very honest with yourself where the weaknesses in your business are. Be very, very critical of your business and what is hurting you the most. Don't go down the rabbit hole on little things that don't mean anything in the big scheme of life. Focus on those big rocks, those big things, and make sure that you are really always in this repair mode and fix mode, because CEOs of businesses, they're always focused on how to make things better, whether it's the conversions of each of the leads that they get, whether it's where the money goes and where it's spent. There's always an area of the business that they're really focused on, because overall it's going to improve those profits, improve those sales, and have the best people that they could possibly have. So find out and think about how would your business jump dramatically? What's that one process, that one weakness that if you really honed in on it over the next few months, you could really make a difference in your business? That's what I want you to focus on, okay? All right. With that, I want you to leave you with that. I want you to process that, let that sink in a little bit, and feel free to let me know what it is, whether it's in any comments, you can email me, all those different things. Let me know where those weaknesses are, because I want to continue to create both the podcasts and the videos that are going to help you around those weaknesses to get what it is that you need to improve your business. All right, with that, I am out of here. You get out there and you go kick some butt, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, badass business owner, before you go, as you know, I'm a huge believer in you knowing your business numbers. After all, it isn't about how much you sell, it's about what you keep. And the best way to grow your profits is to start diving in and understanding those business numbers. To help you on this journey, I have created the Know Your Business Numbers course. We will walk through how to read your profit and loss statement. You'll learn the key calculations that'll help ensure that you're making a healthy profit on all of your products or services, plus a ton of other good stuff that'll help you learn how to use those business numbers to create even more sales and profits. Just check out the link below in the show notes or visit knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. So if you're ready to increase those profits, it's time you start diving into your business numbers.